The Scandalous Life of Huey Percy Newton. Huey Percy Newton, co-founder of the Black Panther Party, remains a controversial figure in American history. His life was marked by revolutionary activism, criminal accusations, and personal scandals. This video delves into 10 of the most scandalous and shocking facts about Huey Newton, shedding light on his complex and often contentious legacy. Fact number 1. Troubled youth and personal life. Huey Percy Newton was born on February 17, 1942, in Monroe, Louisiana. As the youngest of 7 children in a poor family, Newton's early life was challenging. At age 14, his family moved to Oakland, California, where he struggled academically. Newton dropped out of high school, remaining functionally illiterate despite attending Merritt College. Determined to educate himself, he taught himself to read by studying Plato's Republic and carrying a pocket dictionary. Newton had a complex personal life. He was married twice. His first marriage was to Gwen Fontaine in 1974. Gwen had 2 children from a previous relationship, whom Newton helped raise. They divorced in 1983. In 1984, he married Frederica Newton, who was 20 years younger. Frederica described their marriage as a sanctuary amidst his tumultuous life, saying, "Huey found peace in our relationship." Although they had no children, Frederica's influence brought some stability to Newton's life, marked by addiction struggles and frequent run-ins with the law. Number 2. Founding the Black Panther Party. In October 1966, Huey Newton and Bobby Seale co-founded the Black Panther Party for self-defense in Oakland, California. The party was created in response to rampant police brutality and systemic racism. Newton and Seale drafted the party's 10-point program, demanding freedom, employment, housing, education, and an end to police brutality. The Panthers' community initiatives, such as the Free Breakfast for Children program, were groundbreaking, serving over 20,000 meals weekly at their peak. Newton's belief in armed self-defense led to frequent, high-profile confrontations with law enforcement, making the Panthers a target for the FBI's COINTELPRO program. Newton articulated the Panthers' mission as defending the community and serving its needs. His charismatic leadership and radical views made him a celebrated and controversial figure. The party's influence peaked in the late 1960s, becoming a symbol of Black resistance and empowerment. Number 3. The murder of John Fry. On October 28, 1967, Huey Newton's life took a dramatic turn during a traffic stop that escalated into a deadly shootout with Oakland police officers John Fry and Herbert Haynes. Fry was killed, and Newton was seriously wounded. Charged with Fray's murder, Newton's trial became a national focal point, drawing attention to racial injustices and police violence. The Free Huey campaign mobilized thousands, including prominent figures like James Baldwin and Jane Fonda. In September 1968, Newton was convicted of voluntary manslaughter and sentenced to 2 to 15 years in prison. However, due to insufficient evidence and public outcry, his conviction was overturned in 1970. Newton's attorney, Charles Gary, called the case a political lynching. Newton's release was celebrated as a victory against racial oppression, reinforcing his status as a revolutionary hero. Number 4. Allegations of embezzlement and corruption. In the early 1970s, internal discord rocked the Black Panther Party as Huey Newton faced serious allegations of embezzling funds. Accusations included misappropriating money for personal expenses, such as luxury apartments and lavish parties. Reports suggested Newton's drug addiction fueled these financial misdeeds. Key members, including Eldridge Cleaver, openly criticized Newton, leading to a schism within the party. Elaine Brown, a prominent Panther, remarked, "Huey's leadership was compromised by his addiction and paranoia." These internal conflicts, combined with relentless FBI pressure, eroded the party's unity and effectiveness. By the late 1970s, the Black Panther Party had disbanded, with many members disillusioned by the leadership's corruption. Newton's legacy was marred by these controversies, overshadowing his earlier revolutionary achievements. His later years were marked by legal troubles and addiction, culminating in his violent death in 1989, symbolizing the tragic downfall of a once prominent leader. Number 5. violent encounters and legal troubles. Huey Newton's life was marked by numerous violent encounters and legal issues, reflecting his turbulent and often controversial existence. One notable incident occurred in August 1974, when Newton was accused of pistol whipping his tailor, Preston Callens. The altercation allegedly arose from a dispute over a suit Newton had ordered. Callens accused Newton of assaulting him with a gun, leading to a high-profile trial. Although the charges were eventually dropped due to lack of evidence, the incident further tarnished Newton's public image. During this period, Newton's legal troubles were frequent and varied, including accusations of embezzlement, drug possession, and assault. In 1978, he was also accused of murdering Kathleen Smith, a teenage prostitute, although this charge was later dismissed. His repeated brushes with the law painted a picture of a leader perpetually embroiled in controversy and violence, undermining his earlier achievements as a revolutionary icon. Number 6. The mysterious death of Betty Van Patter. One of the most disturbing episodes in Huey Newton's history is the mysterious death of Betty Van Patter. Van Patter, a white bookkeeper for the Black Panther Party, disappeared in December 1974. Her body was discovered floating in San Francisco Bay on January 17, 1975. Van Patter had been hired by the Panthers to manage their finances, but she reportedly uncovered significant financial irregularities, which she planned to expose. Despite widespread suspicion, Newton was never formally charged with her murder. Many believe that her death was a calculated move to silence her and prevent a financial scandal. The case remains unsolved, casting a long shadow over Newton's legacy. David Horowitz, a former Panther associate, publicly accused Newton of being involved, stating, "There is no question in my mind that Huey Newton was responsible for Betty's murder." This unsolved murder continues to be a dark stain on the history of the Black Panther Party and Newton's leadership. Number 7. Exile to Cuba. In 1974, facing mounting legal pressures and threats to his life, Huey Newton fled to Cuba, where he received political asylum from Fidel Castro's government. Newton's abrupt departure followed indictments for the murder of Kathleen Smith and an attempted murder charge. During his exile, Newton lived in relative obscurity, but he continued his political activities and maintained contact with the Black Panther Party. Castro's regime provided him with a safe haven, allowing Newton to study Cuban revolutionary tactics. Despite being away from the United States, Newton remained a symbol of the Panthers' resistance. He returned to the U.S. in 1977 to face the charges, and was acquitted of Smith's murder. Newton's time in Cuba underscored his status as a revolutionary figure and highlighted his complex relationship with the law and international politics. Number 8. Drug addiction and decline. In the later years of his life, Huey Newton struggled with severe drug addiction, which significantly impacted his leadership abilities and personal life. Reports of his cocaine and heroin use became widespread by the late 1970s, leading to erratic behavior and further legal troubles. His addiction strained his relationships within the Black Panther Party and diminished his effectiveness as a leader. In 1980, Newton was convicted of embezzling state school funds and sentenced to 6 months in prison, further damaging his reputation. His addiction not only affected his political career but also led to a cycle of violence and instability. On August 22, 1989, Newton was fatally shot in West Oakland during a drug dispute, marking a tragic end to a life once filled with revolutionary promise. His death underscored the personal demons that plagued him and the complex legacy he left behind. Number 9. The FBI's COINTELPRO targeting. The FBI's counterintelligence program, COINTELPRO, played a key role in targeting Huey Newton and the Black Panther Party to disrupt and discredit their activities. Declassified documents reveal the FBI's extensive surveillance, including wiretapping, planting informants, and provoking internal strife. The FBI spread false information and forged documents to create distrust among members. This relentless pressure contributed to Newton's legal troubles and the party's decline, highlighting the intense government opposition faced by the Panthers in their fight for civil rights. Number 10. Violent death. Huey Newton was shot and killed on August 22, 1989, in West Oakland, California, by Tyrone Robinson, a member of the Black guerrilla family. The shooting occurred during a confrontation over a drug deal at the corner of 9th and Center Streets. Newton's death at age 47 starkly reflected his struggles with addiction and his tumultuous life. His legacy remains divisive, seen by some as a revolutionary hero and by others as a controversial figure marred by violence and crime. His life and death continue to spark debates about his impact on American history and the civil rights movement.